it's Novelistine back at it again with yet another video. Oh my gosh, I got stuff in my eye. So I'm gonna do the reader problem book tag. I'll list down the name of the originator down below. I believe her username on YouTube is About to Read. And so here are the questions. Number one, you have about 20K books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read about? Um, oh wait, what to read next? So normally I just go by my moods, and I do tend to look for like different tropes I'm looking for online and see if any books that fall into that category. I pick it up or just look on my oldest stuff. So I sort through that, and that's when I pick. Although I do kind of want to do like some kind of, I don't know, pull a name out of the tag or something. Anyway, next one. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you put the book down or are you committed? I used to be super committed to stuff, but now I just put it down, maybe read it for later, maybe in a few months or so. But for the most part now, at least for this year, I just put it down. And I'm trying to not be so committed to books when I could just, pick up another one that is going to bring me joy instead of putting me in a reading slump. Okay, the next question. The end of the year is coming and you're behind on a reading challenge. Do you try to catch up? And if so, how? So here's the thing. Last year when I was behind on my reading challenge on Goodreads, I did pick up a whole bunch of comics books that I would have never picked up because I wasn't a huge comic book reader at all last year. But this year I've been reading a lot more because of me rushing to reach my goal. I get that so many people have problems with, I understand why psychologically it's like it might not be so good because they're putting all this expectation on you to reach a goal on that. That's why I hear that so many, at least booktubers that I know of, they're deciding to stop using Goodreads because of that, and just mentally just write down anything that they have read on physically. So yeah, but I have to say, because I rushed through it and was reading a whole bunch of comic books to kind of reach that goal, it did lead me into reading more comic books in the future, because I was like, oh, because of Goodreads, it kind of introduced me to more comic books and with a storyline that I probably would have never picked up. So I guess that's one benefit for me. Oh, and audiobooks. I always double speed it or triple. Well, not triple, at least double speed or 2.5x. I'm sorry. So, next question. The covers of a series you love but don't match. How do you cope? Really? I mean, I don't care much about covers. I mean, I kind of do, unless it's definitely out of proportion. I think the only thing that I do care about is hardback versus coverback. I would much rather have them all be either for a series to be all paperback or for the series to be all hardback. So that's what I really care about. I can't really think of a series that would be so annoying about the cover. I mean, sure, it would be unappealing, but at this point I'm ready to read it. I think the only time that it would annoy me if it's say, I don't know, several books in a series that I have is paperback, but then I have a few that's hardback. No. It got to be the same edition, okay? But covers, I don't think I care that much. Okay. But okay, two. Okay. The next question. Everyone and their mom loves a book that you don't. Do you bond over who do you bond over with your shared feelings? So either A, I rant about it online, or B, talk to my friends about it and we have a discussion. I only have so far maybe 2 friends who talk about books as much as I do. So there's that. Plus I just write all my grievances, anything that I don't like about the book, I make sure to write it down so I can expel it all out. So the next book, okay, the next question, my God. you're reading a book in public and you're about to start crying. How do you deal? Okay, first things first, I stop. I blink really fast to blink away the tears. Sometimes they slip out and I quickly wipe it away. I take a deep breath. I shut the book, maybe take a moment to myself and then resume reading. I rarely stop if I'm crying in public. Well, actually, if I do I try to stop my tears from falling. So that's my process. I don't really stop too, because I know other people, when they're about to cry in public because of a book, some people might, pause reading and wait till like they get home to continue reading. Like, no, I want to finish reading. So that's my stance. Next question. The sequel to a book you loved just came out, but you just forgotten about what happens, a lot about what happens. Are you going to reread it? No, I just watch a whole bunch of spoilerly reviews, unless like I have like the audiobook that I can like kind of speed through, especially if it's a book that I have read over and over and over again. I tend to read through those books a lot faster because I read those books multiple times, especially like, for example, the Court of Thorns and Roses. I've read that series so much that I can practically speed through those books in no time, because I already know what happens. And I don't know, like I heard somewhere on YouTube, I don't know where that video is, but it's about speed reading and how people, when you visualize what's happening in a book, you tend to like read through it faster. I don't know, child. Either way, because it's something that I've read so many times over and over again, or I know the content, I'm most likely to like read through it faster. Like, for example, I actually made a little bit of progress on the Game of Thrones books, and I'm in the first book, of course, but like I'm just rereading up to the point where I got. And because the books correlate with the show, and I forgot what season I've left off. I'm not caught up yet. I know that people are angry. I know that certain people died. So I'm kind of spoiled, but not spoiled for certain things. Yeah, I already know I know that Jon Snow is a Targaryen. I already knew that before it was actually revealed on the show. But yeah, I already knew certain major things. Because of book spoilers and show spoilers. And because I watched the show up to a certain point, I feel like when I'm reading the books, I'm going to kind of speed through the books, because certain things I know because of YouTube, like, for example, YouTube channels dedicated to both the show and the books. And because I watched their stuff I accidentally spoil myself. So yeah, I'll most likely speed through it. So there's that. Okay, so the other question is, you don't want anyone to borrow your books. How do you politely say no when someone asks? I just say no. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. I just say no. Sorry. There's no polite way around it. Just say no. That's how blunt I am when it comes for my books, because I had moments where I had my stuff, especially like when I had an ex-best friend who I let borrow my books, and because I thought that she did something, well, she did do something, I wasn't able to get all my books back. So there's that. Never again. So you've picked up and you put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over this reading slump? Oh, just here's the thing. People have other interests, and I don't know. If I don't want to read, I just don't want to read. And who knows, maybe that month is not a good month for me to read, and I just want to watch nothing but movies, and that's perfectly fine. So, hey, there's that. Yeah, pretty much that's it. If I do, then maybe I just stop and maybe reread something. But even then, sometimes when I reread a book that I've already read before, then I probably don't want to reread it again for that month if I'm in that deep of a reading slump. But I don't really care much about that. Let's see. There are so many books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you end up buying? Here's the thing. This year, I'm using my library a whole lot more. I feel like when I was much, much younger, like maybe back in middle school and like probably sophomore year of high school and below, that's when I would like buy a lot of books instead of using my library a lot more often. So yeah, I've been saving a whole lot more money. Um, this coincides with the last question, which is, after you purchase all the books that you are dying to read, how long does it take? Wait, how long do they end up sitting on your shelves before you get to them? It depends on my mood. Because again, most of the books that are given to me now are like in ebook format, and most of them are from, you know, special friends who have my special wish list that they get me stuff. So, or they have the book themselves already downloaded on their computer and stuff. So so they send it to me, and yeah, so I tend to like convert them to into a format that I can be able to read it. So there's that. But typically I don't. It depends on the book, honestly, and what's the book about. Am I in the mood to read about fantasy? Am I in the mood for historical fantasy? All of that. It all depends. So there's that. I know that I'm currently in the mood to read more creepy stuff. That's why I'm currently reading Ninth House versus Game of Thrones, even though I'm currently rereading it at the moment. But I'm spending more time in Ninth House than I am in Game of Thrones. And these two purchases I just bought. So there's that. Anyway, that's the end of this reader problems book tag. I tag everyone, to be honest. Have fun, y'all. And I'm going to leave the link down below of the originator. So, bye.
Read a book, read a book.